Good evening to one and all. Today, on behalf of World Health Organization, there is a theme called hearing care. So, how we are going to take care of our hearing in day-to-day life, and how are we going to be aware of all the effects of mobile phones as well as online classes, which are going to be the most prominent health issues for parents, teachers, students as well as the whole community. So, I thought I would like to deliver a topic on this just to give the healthy tips for all of you, so that you can take care of your hearing as well as your health together. So, here I am to join you on a webinar topic. So, let me start up with this. Let us start with the effects of online classes on parents, teachers and students. I am Dr. Sunil Kumar, ENT surgeon, who is from Batheri, presenting the topic on World Hearing Day for all of you. This is the theme of our World Hearing Day, hearing care for all. Screen, rehabilitate and communicate. The topic of discussion for today is awareness on hearing loss and the effects of online classes on students, parents, teachers and school managements as well, followed by health issues involved among the mobile phone users. Okay. Can we proceed with the slides? The online education, this has become the modern paradigm with varying degrees of enthusiasm and concern towards all the classes of families as well as all possible schools and students. So, the online classes are all educators are approaching this new paradigm with varying degrees of enthusiasm and concern. So, let us know the strengths of online learning. The main strength of online learning is asynchronous online learning. It means it allows students to participate in high quality learning situations. The students can participate in classes from anywhere in the world, provided they have a computer which they have an internet access with that. And the strength of this online learning is that it can access anywhere from any world, from any place. You can virtually access the classroom together throughout your computer if you just have an internet connection. There is something called synergy, which is an interaction or cooperation giving rise to whole part that is greater than the sum of its part. That is what happens in this online classes. The online format, which allows a dynamic interaction between the instructor as well as the students. This is such a good platform actually. The online platform gives the learner, he may reflect on comments from others before responding or moving on to the next item. So, there is such a thing called high dialogue structure in online classes, which is a positive thing, where students will get a time to articulate themselves to the responses with much more depth and forethought than in the traditional face-to-face discussion situations, which the participant must analyze the comment of another on the spot and formulate a response. So, there is a high dialogue structure in online, which is a positive thing. And it is always a student centered thing. For example, an individual student responds to the course material, as well as there is something like level playing field. The learners have a certain measures of anonymity, and there are null discriminating factors. Null means there is no age, dress, disability discrimination, there is no physical appearance discrimination, there is no gender discrimination. All these things are nullified in this online platform. So, there is a focus of attention is clearly on the content of the discussion and the individual ability to assess and respond to the material. These are the positive things. And the most important positive thing is access to the resources. Very well you can access right from your home. That includes the distinguished guest lectures from different departments and different places can come over and participate in this online delivering the talks. Just by a click you can easily access the resources anywhere in the world. And it is a platform where the student or the teacher will get a creative teaching modules to get adapted and used to, which can be developed according to the curriculum. Coming to the weaknesses of online learning. For everything there is an advantage and disadvantage. The most important weakness is the technology itself. Why? Because it is accessibility is a limitation as well as the equity. all the students or the parents should be able to access the online learning environment. If there is a lack of accessibility, that will exclude the eligible students from the course. Significantly, it happens in low socio-economic group of population and the group of families which are not affordable. If student cannot afford the technology, the administration institutes will lose them. This is the threat underlying. You will be losing the best student also sometimes. And the internet accessibility is not universal everywhere. Still, users will have to pay huge amount of money for monthly pay as well as for their rental pay for this internet connections and all. So, in this slide, I would like to show this image which you can see that is most important, the computer literacy. You cannot be an Ironman to know everything about online. You have to study day by day and parents have to be well versed of this. Both the students as well as the teaching departments as well as the managements, they must possess the minimum level of computer knowledge, which is very important. As of now, every school is teaching them, that is even good in the present scenario. But still, some schools and somewhere, some remote areas, we are missing out these things. So, for example, both the parties have to use a variety of search engines, which they have to navigate to the web, and then there should be a groups and there should be mails which most of them have to access. If they don't possess these technology tools, they will not succeed in this online platform. So, the limitations of technology, it should be an user-friendly and reliable technology, which is very critical in the successful online program. The limitations in technology, for example, I can show you, the server sometimes shows that the host, the program, it could crash down, cuts down all the participants from the class. Individual personal computers have to be very clean and they should be updated. Otherwise, there will be a lot of numerous problems which will be running out. For example, a simple keypad issue can limit the online platform. Institution hosting the connection could become bogged down with users, many users joining into one platform. Suddenly, the system will get crashed or the server will slow down. And most often, these are the images everyone could have faced in their systems as well as when PCs, when you come across with your internet connections. So, unable to connect and there is server down. Coming to the students, in an online platform, how a student should be. It is an inappropriate learning environment which the student have to adapt himself first of all. And most importantly, in dependent learners, it takes not much of time actually for them to get used to. For those dependent learners, this is not a good platform. For this online platform, how a student should be. The student has to be matured enough. He should be self-motivated, self-disciplined, and the student should have adequate management skills to cope up with the pace of the course. Okay. And coming to the facilitator, just have a look at the image. Suppose if the teacher or the facilitator, he is not a properly trained person, then the condition of the professor or the teacher will be this. They will be holding their hair or they will be hitting their head to the board if they are not well versed with all these things. So, if facilitators are not properly trained in online delivery and methods, the success of online program will be compromised. An online instructor must be able to compensate for the lack of their physical appearance. For example, in a classroom, the physical appearance is most important, where the students will be attentive towards the teacher. But in an online platform, the instructor has to make sure that he is presentable and their attention should not divert from them. So, an online instructor must be able to compensate for the lack of physical presence by creating a supportive environment in the virtual classroom. That is the difficult task for everyone. It might not be possible. And coming to the administrator's point of view, most of the administrators or the faculty members who are uncomfortable with the changes and working with the technology, they might feel these online programs are just something like they cannot offer quality education. And these are the people who might resist the implementation of the program. It might lead to the flop of this online program, I can tell you in another way. How about this online environment? This online environment is a big nexus, I call it as. The online learning has its potential in the high synergy represented by the active dialogue among the participants. However, in large classes, the synergy level starts to shift from the learning continuum until it eventually becomes independent study, so that to accommodate the large classes. So, thereby limits the active dialogue as well as interaction among the participants and the facilitators. So, there is a lack of interaction. So, there are few things what should not be taught on online. This is the most important slide. The subjects that cannot be taught online. It's the physical sports, which is very important in day-to-day life, where most of them are adapting a sedentary lifestyles. So, these are the subjects which should not be taught. And hands-on training sessions or hands-on subjects, definitely no virtual, no simulation will help until you do your hands-on program training by doing it by your own hands, and it should be manually done, not by simulating or any other means. And for example, a public speak, you have to train the kid in the public as well as in the school to deliver the talk, so that they will become scare free. For example, they are like so much scared, it is called mogophonia. Most of the students will not be able to talk in the public or as well as in the classrooms. You have to identify to promote them and make them to talk. It is done by teachers who are there with them, not online. There is a peer interaction with friends. This should not be taught online, because it might become a virtual world where they lose themselves from the real world. Just because technologically this online, it is possible to simulate a physical learning, this doesn't mean that it is the best way to teach it. You should remember always it is like a double-edged sword. It can be used in a proper way, means it is good. If it is not used in a proper way, definitely it is going to harm you. So, how it is going to harm you? One is the gadgets which you are going to use, the mobile phones. Now in India or anywhere in the world, every person have got their own personal mobile, or at least a family will have a mobile phone. But one should be aware of what these mobile phones are going to do to you. It generates electromagnetic radiations which are very harmful, and it generates this electromagnetic radiation in two ways. One is from the tower directly, which has been placed nearby your house or near your area. Second, from the mobile itself, the batteries. According to the international permitted standards, GSM 900 mobile phones, the transmitted pulse rate of this power should be only 2 watts per each mobile. If it is crossing this 2 watts, the electromagnetic radiation is definitely going to harm your health. I will tell you how it is going to harm. There are hazards of mobile phone usage on children, particularly children coming to my OP. I have observed and studied them in such a way, what is that they are undergoing through this corona as well as online classes, how it is about. Most of the students are complaining of hearing loss, hearing loss, hearing loss. Why? Then I started analyzing them. Due to the maximum exposure time of this electromagnetic radiation for longer duration. For example, the classes will be scheduled continuously 6 hours. So, if they start listening to the mobile, keeping it close to them, definitely they are going to get exposed to this electromagnetic radiation, which will further lead to damage of the inner ear. So, probably thereby leading to hearing loss. And loud volumes, most of the students will not be able to hear the classes clearly, probably due to some technical issues on the other side. For example, the teacher or whoever is delivering the talk might not be using the proper gadgets. So, any sound which is more than 80 decibels can lead to nerve hearing loss. So, this everybody have to make a note, because just keeping a loud volume in your earphones doesn't help you out, because it is going to be affecting your ear as well as hearing. So, the clinical symptoms, the students or who are the parents, the teachers who have commonly come across me, I just put across my slides. One is called tinnitus. Tinnitus means nothing but most of the time they will be able to hear a buzzing sound in the ear. It is something like a bee going around in the ear. Even though they are not using earphones, but still people have reported to me in their sleep they can hear this buzzing sound. That is called tinnitus. Only when there is a nerve involvement, where there is a nerve of hearing get affected, this tinnitus will start. You should be careful. You should watch yourself as well as your kids by asking them whether you are really able to hear this buzzing. The second most common thing by using these earplugs, for example, commonly which I am using, I can show you. It causes granuloma. There is a local tissue injury on constant pressure application of earphone tip. For example, this earphone which I am using, it contains silicone rubber. Okay? Most of the time this will not be there, and there is improper placement of earphones. For example, there is interchange of right earphone to left earphone to the right ear. always see for the direction of the earphones. It has to be like this, and there will be always a marker on this point which is right, which is left. Just go through that and place it properly. Before placing, just wipe it. I can show you, just this is the silicone tip. Just take a cotton. All of us have hand sanitizers at home. Just take your hand sanitizer thing, because there is something called fomite infection. For example, if I keep this on my table and take it out, it will transfer an infection, because the surface bacteria which is lying on that can contact this thing, and then when I am placing it my ear, I am going to transfer the infection from the table to my ear. So what every student or parent or teacher have to do is take the hand sanitizer, take the cotton, wipe it gently, allow it to dry for a while, okay, then place it properly by looking which side is right, which side is left. This, if you follow correctly, it will not harm your ear. And most of the time, after you place your earbuds, they should be plugged in properly. They should not be half out, half in, up or down. And once it is plugged in properly, you have to use it for a while, not more than a period of 45 minutes. If anything crossing more than 1 hour, it is better you take it out, leave it for a while of around 10 minutes. Allow the ear to get relieved of its pressure. If constantly the child starts hearing this kind of earphones, as well as something like a external earphones which compresses the whole ear, don't do that. Take a break, leave it open, and then allow it to release the pressure which you have applied there. So what I suggest is intermittent breaks has to be given between the classes for the child as well as the teacher, and you have to take care of your earphones by wiping it with a sanitizer or a surgical spirit or a normal Dettol which is available at home, and use silicone tips, not the hard rubber tips, the most important thing, because these kind of things will lead to granulomas. As you see in my picture, there is a mass coming out. Recently I had a child, she had exam, she had to continuously use earphones for more than 8 hours to listen to that revision classes and all. So this is the common thing which I am coming across nowadays, and the child cannot hear and the child cannot put earphones. Most of the time you should encourage them to use speakers connected to their laptops as well as speakers connected to the mobiles, but the volume should be below 80 dB. So the next common thing I came across is the sleep disorders. Most of the teachers are stressed out and the managements are stressed out. It starts from there. When the parents are stressed out, definitely everything will be like sleep disorders. They cannot sleep properly. Next day they have to arrange the classes for the students, for their kids to upload the classes. All this, the parents will have so many other works which they have to compromise and they have to run behind the child. Most of the times the parents as well as the students will be lacking the sleep. This will lead to sleep disorder. This is very dangerous, I will tell you, because everybody have to sleep at least for a period of 6 hours in a night or a day. It should be comfortable sleep. It should not be an intermittent sleep where it is very much disturbed and you wake up thinking that there is a class tomorrow, I have to adjust. That is not the way you have to. So you have to schedule your sleep properly. And there is a possibility of thermal injury with all these gadgets. Always remember, it can blast anytime because it is a battery. You should be careful. Don't keep it close to the ear. Once it causes injury, thermal injury to the nerve, there is no reversal of this hearing. So you have to be very, very careful with that. And headaches, these are the most common problem of everybody, but this time it is even more headache because most of them are staying at homes. They are happy, but finally most of them are bored of, and most of the time it is online sessions which are going on, which they are running behind. And there is a case of around 5 years to 6 years child which I have seen around. They are complaining of headaches. The children are complaining of headache. It is not alone by ear, it is by the vision. For example, constantly they are observing the screen for a long time, thereby it will affect their vision. That will lead to headaches, and so much of stress they are taking with online classes as well as these gadgets which they are using, the thermal injuries, electromagnetic radiations, all this will lead to headaches. And this headaches will not just relieve by taking any tablet alone. You have to change your lifestyle. Most importantly, change your lifestyle, make your schedules properly, take intermittent breaks, very important. These kind of headaches might lead to in future cerebral gliomas. For example, it is called a type of meningiomas we call, it is called gliomas, cellulomas. There are proven studies which will show, which have written this. Okay. So, keep your mobiles or electronic gadgets at least little distance away from you. And the most important, it will alter the blood brain barrier. It is a scientific term where there are a lot of changes which are going to happen in your blood as well as the brain, and most of the time it might lead to a syncope attacks where you feel dizzy, you feel drowsy, you feel like you are not active in a day. And there are a lot of vision disorders which are going to start, and most common vision disorders are blurring, as you keep seeing the screen without blinking. Most of the children or most of the teachers, most of the adults will forget to blink. After that they come back to me telling that I am having some itching or some pain in my eye. So, that is due to a condition called dry eye. The eye gets dried out. So, there are a lot of refraction errors which are going to happen with this kind of screen time when you are prolongedly using it. So, this is the commonest picture I am coming across, and all of you could have seen by yourself when you are watching your mirror in a day, in a morning as you wake up, attending classes online without a break. It is said to be causing so many problems. The most dangerous thing in this is dry eye syndrome, where you forget to blink your eye and thereby it leads to the dryness of your eye. There will be burning sensation of eyes, there will be ear problems, and most of the common thing everybody in life could have faced will double. For example, the stress induced disorders will be more, and there are a lot of kids with personality changes I have seen, and the teachers also who are teaching and the managements also who are going through this stress, they have definitely noticed their personality changes. For example, it is like suddenly they will become aggressive. They become aggressive of so many things, get irritated of so many things, they lose their temper. Thereby their whole personalities are changed. Why? Because there is no sleep properly, they are stressed out so much, there is a lot of headaches which they have to manage, and there is a personality change. This is very dangerous, one have to be very careful with that. And this is the most common thing. For example, a mother sharing the earphone with the daughter, or a father sharing the earphone with a kid at home, or a teacher sharing the earphone with the colleagues. That is what you should not do. You should use your own personal earphones which you are meant to use for, and you should place it properly in a box where you can keep it safe and clean. By sharing these earphones, you are going to just transfer the infection from one ear to other ear, or from one person to other person. Thereby you suffer ear pain. This is the commonest symptom which I am coming across, and people are coming with this same complaint: ear pain, ear pain, ear pain. So, what you need to do is just stop sharing your earphones. So, in a summary, impact of mobile phones on health, the most commonest is headache, earaches, the neck pain, tinnitus, buzzing in the ear, and painful fingers. For example, when you keep on typing so many things on the system as well as the laptop, you will get painful ear. There is something like arthritis or inflammation of the joints, and morning tiredness because of sleeplessness. There will be fatigue, you will be tired out, you cannot do any work other than that. There will be a lot of eye disorders, eye symptoms, sleep disturbances will be there, restlessness. This is the most important slide, you have to take care of it. Check yourself whether you have got all these symptoms, don't neglect. From my desk, I would like to give you this healthy tips for being healthy and live healthy. Okay? Tips for healthy hearing as well as healthy listening, especially for students attending online classes. Schedule yourself to the class timings early morning after you have a proper breakfast. Most important thing, don't skip your breakfast, because the brain needs glucose as a metabolite. If you skip your breakfast and start listening to the class, sometimes you might develop some sort of hypoglycemia where you will not be able to concentrate. So, all the students who are attending online classes should never skip their breakfast, have it properly. And second thing, keep blinking eyes. Most importantly, you have to often keep your eye moist, thereby it prevents a dry eye. A simple tip, that's enough. You can do just once in a while, blink your eye and open, that's enough. A tear film will be formed, it prevents the most deadly pathology, dry eye. Then wipe your earplugs with any antiseptic or any sanitizer which is there at your home. before inserting into the ear. Make sure you wipe your earbuds. Okay. Ideally, use speaker with a volume below 80 dB and it should be in listen mode only. Keep your volume in listen mode only because the teacher will be presenting. This is the most important slide. Please make a note. Positioning yourself for online classes. Most of the time, most of them will not do, either in offices or schools or parents or students. How to position yourself when you are attending an online class. Have your desk at your comfortable height. Just see this picture. I will show you one. The foot should rest on a block under your table and your back should be straight. Okay. And this should be at a height and your laptop should be at the level of your eye, whatever monitors you are using. You should not sleep and watch. You should not sit in a couch and watch. Don't do all those things because you are going to worsen your health. Position yourself like this. The chair should not have any arms or anything. The backrest should be there and that eye vision should be on top of your screen, this level. And the hands should rest exactly at this level on the table and the foot should rest. This is the way you are going to protect your spine, you are going to protect your fingers, you are going to protect your eye with a distance of at least 1.5 to 2 feet minimum at least should be maintained from the screen. Okay. This is the wrong posture which most of them will follow and you should not do. So, position your table and chair by adjusting the screen with a distance where you do not have to bend or lean back. The healthiest tips: do wear spectacles if you have vision problem. Do not neglect because it is going to stabilize your refraction error. If you do not wear spectacles, the refraction error is going to increase. Thereby, you are going to have vision loss. Keep yourself hydrated with a bottle of water. Hello. Keep yourself hydrated with a bottle of water. Keep it near with you. So, always take a break after 1 hour for a period of 5 to 10 minutes away from the screens or the mobiles. For example, when your schedule is for 1 hour, after 1 hour take a break 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. Inform your parents and teachers if you have difficulty in hearing or attending classes online, so that at least they can consult to the particular physician or particular ENT surgeon to look into the child's condition, or they might help you with your online things. How to do chair exercises which keeps you fit as you are working on your chair with a laptop or with a mobile when you are at work. Most of the times we have forgotten that to do physical exercises which are very important, but it is utmost important that everyone have to learn these things and it is for your sake to keep you healthy and fit. Here I am to demonstrate those few small exercises which can be done on the chair with my volunteer, my clinical staff, Mr. Malik here demonstrating that for you. And we start with the simple things. The exercise 1, which can be done by sitting on the chair by rotating your head or tilting your head and neck together. Exercise 1, first. See, look at him, he is tilting the head to the right as well as to the left. This simple exercise anybody can do by sitting in a chair or on a stool when you are working. The second part, the simple second exercises are shoulder shrugging exercises. As he is demonstrating now for you, lift your shoulders up and down, lift up and down. You can plan your repetitions as sets. For example, 5 number count as 3 sets. That also can be planned and done in that way. Take a break and then do this third exercises where you are going to stretch out your arms back, fully wide open and back as much as you can, that much. Keep it there for a moment and turn, get it to the front and go back. This is the simple exercise everyone can do by sitting on a chair itself. The fourth simple exercise, stretch out your arms straight away. Yeah. Show the palm to the opposite person and your fingers which you are using to type your laptops or mobiles, they get stretched out and get relieved a lot with this simple exercise which can be done by sitting on a chair. Isn't it easy for you to do all this? Another simple thing for your back, which is like turn towards right and turn towards left as you are doing this simple exercise. Just position yourself correctly, okay? The next exercise is even more simpler than this. You have to just keep your legs still, rotate your upper body to right, yes, and to the left. Just 5 repetitions will be sufficient enough to relieve your muscle cramps, your spine, low back ache, everything. Okay. Another simple exercise which is there, just do this namaste as you are sitting. This keeps your elbows fit. This simple exercise, you can do it by sitting on a chair itself. Just hold your namaste tightly so that your elbows will be at a level straight to it. That's enough. Another simple exercise which is there, where you have to come to the edge of your chair. Just put your fingers back like this, yeah. Fingers back, yes. Simple like this. This will stretch your wrist, helps you to relieve from your wrist pain. Simultaneously, you can turn back and then do the next exercise. The simple next chair exercise only, just sit. Lift your leg by supporting the leg with one of your hand, like this. Stretch it straight, keep it straight to the level of the chair. Drop it down, then one more repetition, stretch it, yes. This is even more simpler than all those exercises which you can do. This will relieve the knee joint pains when you are walking on a chair. Definitely it will prevent you from arthritis of the knee joints. Another simple thing, just take your leg one above the other leg, stretch it like this, keep it like this. Same thing you do with the opposite leg. This is for your hip joint, where you stretch your hip joint and hip muscles. Isn't it very simple to do when you are sitting on a chair? This next simple exercise, after you get up from the chair, just go against the wall and stretch yourself there. Yes, pushing yourself straight like this. It stretches whole of your body. So one has to take intermittent breaks during your working hours on a chair and do these simple exercises to keep yourself health and fit. And the most important thing, just do it in the best way which you are comfortable with by just sitting on the chair. Okay? I hope all of you will follow all these simple tips. In this exercise, I am going to show how a student or an office work person to position himself on a chair as he is working on a laptop or a mobile or a screen. So first, most interesting thing, important thing everybody have to notice, how is my volunteer sitting around here? See, there is a chair which is very comfortable with the back support or with the head rest, everything with the arm support. Okay, position yourself in such a way where the chair is very much comfortable for you to lean back and correctly straighten your spine, and then see the leg and the foot where he is resting. There should be underneath one foot rest where you have to rest your foot on that. And the third thing, position the laptop on the table, and this level should be exactly to your eye level, the screen of the laptop should be, and your arms and the elbows should rest on the table straight away. There should not be too much of flexion at this point. Flexion means bending at this point. It has to be straight. Your back has to be straight. Your leg has to be straight and your foot has to be straight, and this eye level should be exactly coordinating with this level of the screen. This way, if you position yourself when you are attending online classes or when you are working for your office work, you will not strain much. It will be very comfortable to work. Just follow this simple tip. Just observe him how he is sitting. This is the way you have to sit and work on a chair with the laptop or a system or a PC or a personal computer. Okay? Just follow this simple tip to keep yourself healthy. With this presentation, I would like to launch this hearing app which was developed by WHO. I would like to share this because it is a self-screening app which can be used by installing it from the Play Store, where you can check your own hearing and then come back if there is something doubt about it to an ENT doctor and consult him, because this is only a screening tool, not the diagnostic tool. This is available free on Play Store. All of you can take it and examine it by yourself. And there are some things which you have to notice. If there is anything like wax in the ear, please do clear it and then try to screen yourself. Don't do it when you are having some issues with your ear, like a wax or any infection or discharge from the ear. If anybody would like to contact, this is the number of mine where we can give where I can help you out. Okay, I am stationed at Batheri in my clinic. So with this thing, I would like to really thank all the supporting partners who have supported me for this event to go on. So most importantly, the Cipla, who have created this platform, Blue Jeans, and MacLeod School, with which we have partnered out, and Indian Medical Association of Sultan Batheri, and then my clinical staff who have supported in this, and my family. Is there any question I can take? Anybody have got any simple doubt also, feel free to share so that I can sort out those things right now. Let us meet on a new topic on another day. This education will continue because healthy lifestyle is what everybody requires. Okay? Take care.